If you've ever said, I'll work on my business after the kids go to bed, and then woken up hours later with Netflix asking if you're still watching, this video is for you. And I want you to know that you're not broken, you're not lazy, you're not even behind. You've just been trying to implement and use frameworks that were never designed for mom life. I cannot tell you how many women I've worked with who are trying to use systems and structures made by single women or men. And not to say that men and single women don't know what they're talking about, but they don't have the perspective that we have as moms, right? Who want to be good moms, who want to be good wives, who also want to be very successful in their businesses. And we have a lot being carried on our shoulders. We're constantly thinking about our families, our kids, our husbands, wondering if they're having a good day, wondering if they liked this new snack you put in their lunch, wondering what time you probably should start dinner at, and thinking, oh my God, I didn't take anything out of the freezer halfway through a coaching call. And then you are half listening to the call and you're half thinking about what else might be in the freezer that you can thaw quickly for dinner, right? And these are all very real scenarios. And this is something that a lot of the women I'm talking to are dealing with. And they feel like time is constantly slipping away and they just can't seem to stay on top of anything. And they feel like they're failing in multiple areas because they don't know how to properly manage their time. I remember I was working with this business coach who was really up on the cash injection live launch kind of strategy, which works and is great. And I used it for many years and it does work for me too. But the problem was I kept finding that it drained all of my time. And so I needed to find a way that worked for me because I couldn't just keep sending my family out of town for 10 days or 2 weeks every time I wanted to do a live launch. So I had to find a better way. And the problem is many ambitious moms are working with these borrowed frameworks that just don't work with mom life in mind, which then of course does not consider the mental and emotional load we're carrying around. I can't tell you how many women I've worked with who admit that they've been on calls where at some point they remember, oh my God, I didn't take anything out of the freezer. And then they're only half listening and their head is half in the kitchen thinking about what else they can make happen for dinner. And these are not excuses and these are not even detrimental to us, but we need to just surrender to the fact that this is the reality of being a wife and a mom and having a household and a family to take care of while you're running a business, is that you are going to have split attention. But the beautiful thing is you can also have your CEO energy spill over into your mom life as well. And so if you're nodding along and thinking that this feels like your everyday life too, I've put together a free 20-hour workweek blueprint that you can use to help organize your life and your schedule into the precious 5 hours a day that you have while your kids are at school. The blueprint breaks down this whole process and it's in the description box below. Most moms think they need to have more hours in the day, and they think that because they only have these 5 school hours, that if they just magically could stretch that into 8 or 9 hours, they'd be able to get more done. But what really is the problem is they don't have systems that allow them to capitalize and utilize and double down on the hours that they do already have available. You absolutely can be a great mom and wife and business person and a great coach all at the same time. You can wear all the hats, but you have to understand that sometimes you'll wear one hat more than you'll wear another hat. And that really, it just comes down to your priorities. If your priorities are anchored in setting your future self up for success, then you will, as a byproduct, start to develop habits and behaviors and make decisions from their perspective of what sets your future self up for success. And because all of the decisions you make are going to be aligned with that outlook, this will allow you to use your time more efficiently. Now I'm going to ask you to pause this video and make a list of everything that you need to get done this week, everything that you think needs to get done by you, everything that's on your calendar, everything that's on your to-do list. Get everything down on one sheet of paper. Okay, I hope you've done that exercise. If you haven't, please pause the video and actually do it. I want you to circle now 3 things on that list that are actually going to move the needle. Think about what 3 things are going to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to go. Ask yourself, what of these things actually needs to get done? And which of these are action steps that are going to help me get closer to my goals? I hope you're actually doing that, because making the decision to actually pause the video and do that exercise right now is setting your future self up for success, because now you'll be clear on the 3 things that you need to focus on this week that are going to move the needle further, which is going to help you stay focused and actually get those things done, which means you're actually moving the needle. So right now you're probably having chaotic mornings, things maybe don't start out as great as they could, and then you're busy all day, but not much is getting done. And then at night you look back and you think, oh my God, I don't understand. Like I was busy all day, but really nothing got done. The house is still a mess. I didn't make any money. I didn't attract any new clients. And I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong. How can I be this busy and have such little to show for it? You can see how if you use these kinds of prioritization lists and you're really clear about how you can set your future self up for success in any decision that you're making, you can go from very chaotic, sporadic, reactionary kind of chaos energy, which is exactly what you're going to create more of. And then you can go into this more peaceful, structured, intentional, deliberate 20-hour week that produces more than even those with 40 hours a week. You're not just trying to be a mom and squeeze business into little cracks of life. You step into your CEO era who just happens to also be a mom, and you're building a business that supports your life. So now I hope you can see that time is not the issue, it's how you're using the hours that you have. But now you might be wondering, okay, that's all fine and good that time is not the issue. I'm happy to hear that, but now how do I know what to focus on in these 20 hours that I have? And that's exactly what we're going to cover in the next video. I'm going to show you how to create a 90-day vision that actually works for this season of your life. And by now, I think you're starting to see that getting clear on what the big picture is leads you to be able to prioritize what's going to get you to that big picture. And that, of course, creates the progress. So if you want to see exactly how I run my business in 20 hours a week or less and get the same system that's worked for so many other moms, grab the free 20-hour workweek blueprint now before you move on to the next video, because it's going to help you get really clear on what it is that you are trying to fit into the 20 hours a week that we have and create that 90-day vision.